All right. Good morning, Alta Realty Group Realtors. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm Director of Training and Marketing. And today we're going to be having our final webinar of 2020. We want to thank all of our regular attendees throughout the year and want to thank all of our new realtors, all the new hires, and just had a great year. So before I go further, let me bring on Bill Seitz from Clearview Mortgage. All right. Good morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kevin. How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's a great week. We're heading into the Christmas holidays, so a lot of good stuff happening. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't believe it's the our final training of the year. It's gone by quick.
It's gone by really quick. Yeah, I really want to just congratulate everybody. We had a massive year in terms of growth for the company. I know a lot of our agents had really good years despite the COVID debacle and just everything else that's happened in 2020. So I want to congratulate everybody for being resilient in this trying time and for having a great year. We really did make a great year of it.
The year of adaptation.
Yeah, that's an understatement, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so just want to congratulate everybody again, and just we're very thankful for all of our realtors. We have such a great team, and we're just very blessed to be working with all of you. And so, Bill, without further ado, why don't you bring us up to speed with anything that's new in mortgage land?
Well, yeah, I just thank you. Want to just touch on a couple things real quick. I know we have a really good guest on today, and Jen Lester, who's going to share some really cool safety stuff. But before we do that, I just wanted to last week I talked a little bit about the forecast for 2021 in the housing market, and I came across, kind of was doing some research, and I came across Realtor.com's forecast for 2021, which obviously it's one of several that are out there, but I do think that they have really good analysts and people that are digesting what's going to happen next year. And just some couple key takeaways of this report is that the market is going to stay very active. Prices are going to stay high. They're not going to appreciate at the double digit levels we've seen this year, which is probably good for a number of reasons. One, just taking a little bit of a breather on appreciation, because as we know, if things get too heated, the mortgage, even the affordability it becomes a factor there. And they're predicting around a 5% appreciation, which I think is traditionally about the national average. So that's kind of good to digest. They also are mentioning, and I'm going to be looking into this further, that they do expect mortgage rates to be increasing through the back half of next year. It's all relative, meaning that they're saying it should be in the mid threes by the end of next year is what they're predicting. So right now you have an average of about 2.7, 2.8 range for an average 30-year loan. So yeah, that's going to have an impact on affordability. And I think that, this is a good thing to share with your clients. I encourage you all to read this report. You can just Google it, realtor.com, housing forecast for 2021. Just read through it, take you 10 minutes, and it'll give you a nice kind of broad understanding of what they're predicting and what they expect. So you can go into 2021 with the right mindset.
No, that's great, Bill. That's a really good point. And what we'll probably do, as we normally do in January, is we'll put out a good, market forecast for you guys to share with your clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I don't know if Travis is on this morning or not, but if he's come across any other forecast that we can push out to you guys as well, I can certainly send you this link too, if that's helpful, or we can review it again in our first training of 2021.
Yeah, for sure. And yes, Travis, let me bring Travis on. Good morning, Travis.
Good morning. How's it going?
Very well, thanks. Yeah, so there, obviously, if Travis comes across, any other forecasts and any other relevant information, of course, we'll be sharing that with our agents.
Of course.
That's what we do.
Generally, I'm seeing the same thing, mostly positive outlook for 2021.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they did mention the rollout of the vaccine, which whatever your stance is on that, that's not the point. The point is that it's gonna should kind of relax a lot of this craziness that we're all in, and
yeah,
hopefully give people more security. And they did talk about more listings coming on through the middle back half of next year as more and more people do, get vaccinated and feel more confident about selling their property and listing it and all that good stuff. So I think things will loosen up a little bit as well. So that's encouraging.
yeah, for sure. Well, excellent. All good news, all exciting stuff. So now I would like to bring on Jennifer Lester, also known as Stun Gun Jen. So let's see if I can bring her on. All right. Good morning, Jen. Can you hear me?
Uh, yes, I
There you
sure can. Can you, for my part, if you wouldn't mind opening my video,
Oh,
because I
absolutely.
can't do it on the webinar. I don't have very much screen share to do. I like to, well, I would say see people's faces, but
I know,
I can't
right?
see any of y'all right now.
I know, right? Let's see. I think I should be able to do that, right? Hold on.
For me, it says, if I try it, it says you cannot start your video because the host has disabled it.
Got it. Okay. Well, I should be able to fix that right now. Okay. So now why don't you try?
Okay, let's see. Nope. Oh no,
Still
this
no.
is a problem. Yeah. Uh-oh.
That's okay. Hold on here.
I see Bill keeps popping up even though his video is not open.
I know,
So are
right?
you in your jammies, Bill?
Of course.
That's funny.
While we're while we're trying to sort this out though, you guys, I want to say thank you so much to Bill. He just actually did our refi on our house. So we get to start 2021 debt free and with a lower interest rate, which is awesome. I hope you're all reaching out to all of your buyers from the last couple of years that might have higher interest rates and saying, hey, you need to connect with Bill. Just keeps that relationship going with them. So when they're ready to sell, they're going to remember what a great deal you got them. So that's just my, I don't,
Yeah, I
I,
appreciate the plug, Jen. It's interesting. Michelle Gordon, actually one of our agents for several years now, and actually one of our first few agents. She actually introduced or referred Jen to myself, and we started this relationship, friendship, we're going to call it now. um,
mhm.
Due to wanting to do some debt consolidation, lower her go into a 15-year loan and kind of get everything cleaned up for 2021. And in the process, I learned what Jen does for a living. And Jen does basically trainings and informational pieces on safety for different industries, different professions. And as I got to know her, I said, this would be a great opportunity to have Jen come on and talk about safety with our agents, because let's be honest, it's a topic that we do need to address. And it is possible that you could find yourself in a situation where you might need to take care of yourself. You may know how to deal with it. And I'm really excited to hear what Jen has to say this morning. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Jen, and let you do your
Okay.
thing.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
and
actually going to also try and sign on my computer because if we can't get the video going, I at least do have a PowerPoint. I just hate using it.
okay.
Because only because I'm a people person. That's why it just is one of those things. I'd rather you guys see me and see tools in my hands so you can better understand them. But we will make it work whatever way we have to.
Yeah, and I did
So
make you a host, so I hope that, and that's about all
maybe
I can do. So,
look at
hey,
that.
hi
Wee!
there.
I see
Okay,
a face.
all right.
But am I a super tiny face or
No,
is
you're
it big enough
you're
that you guys?
perfect.
Okay. Oh, my husband tells me that too. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, all right.
All right, you guys. So real quick, my name is Jen. I go by Stun Gun Jen, and I've been in this industry now for over 7 years. Before I started working with Damsel in Defense as an independent contractor, I was actually a 911 dispatcher for almost 12 years. So I really know a lot about safety and so forth. And I've been doing these realtor webinars forever. So I want to start out by telling you guys when it comes to your safety, there is an acronym that you guys all will love. and it's called sold, okay? Everything with your safety has to do with sold, and I don't mean closing an escrow. I mean situational awareness, OODA loop, layering the playing field, and deciding to win. That's your SOLD. Now, I know you guys are probably sitting there going, what in the heck did she just say?
I
So
am.
let me start with let me start with the S for situational awareness. You know, some of you might think that you're really aware and that you pay attention to your surroundings really well, but did you know that that is actually not just a natural thing? It's something we have to turn on when we go out. There's part of our brain called the reticular activating system that we actually have to say, I need to pay attention. That means knowing all the exits at every showing you have, making sure they're all unlocked so that if something were to start to go down, you knew you had a way out. Paying attention to people's behaviors, especially now because everybody's masked. So it's even harder to really get a good description of them and so forth. And this is either on the job or off. But paying attention to all of that when you're out and really switching that on can make a huge difference in your safety. And then we go into OODA loop. And let me see if I can share my screen on this one. Let's see, photos. Okay, allow access to all photos. And there we go. So OODA loop, can you guys all see that?
No.
No?
We can just see you.
Oh, you're kidding me. It totally popped up on my screen like it's working.
Shoot.
Oh, fudge. Okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
there it is.
OODA.
Oh, now
Oh,
we can see it.
oh, yay.
Awesome.
Okay. OODA loop is actually Air Force training, okay? It's observe, orient, decide, and act. Everything we do, we have to process through the OODA loop 2 times before our body moves. Now, this explains a lot because when we're in a threatening situation, there's usually 3 just natural, innate ways that we react, and it's either fight, flight, or freeze. Obviously, if you have a chance to get away, I always want you to get away. But then there's the fight. But the last one being freeze is because we have not ever created a plan to help us process through the OODA loop fast enough to react. Okay, so let me say that again. The OODA loop, observe, orient, decide, and act. You have to have a plan for your brain to process through that fast enough for your body to actually react to a threat. And that's why you see it all the time on the news. People who have had some kind of violence in their lives are often, you know, they don't know, they can't even remember what happened. They froze, they didn't react. That doesn't make it their fault in any way, shape, or form. Please remember that. But if you want to have a better chance of actually reacting, you have to create a plan so that you can process through all of this fast enough that you actually make a move. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so observe is, of course, observing your surroundings, observing the potential threat that comes into your situational awareness, orienting yourself to the area, again, checking your exits, knowing that you have ways out if needed, then deciding what you're going to do, creating that plan so that when you are in an instance, your brain just triggers and goes, and it's like muscle memory, and that's why you can act. Now, if you cannot process through that, there's going to be some issues. So I want you to start creating a plan by imagining things in your mind. And I don't mean to the point of paranoia, because paranoia sucks. I want you to just be prepared. Like, you know, picture it, you're in a home. Once you can do open houses again, if you were in a home, hanging out in the kitchen, waiting for people to come with that door wide open, but suddenly you hear the door close and a lock click, what do you do? Because this is an instance I've heard from many realtors as I've been out and
Gosh,
about teaching.
that's a nightmare
Right?
scenario, Jen.
It is,
Yeah.
but I can't tell you how common it is. That was more than once brought up to me by women, especially who've been through that scenario while doing open houses. You know, no one else is there. And then all of a sudden they hear the door shut. Well, holy smoke, now what? That's why I always want you near an exit with that exit unlocked, okay? Or let's just say for now, and I'm not trying to like freak you guys out, I just want you to start thinking about these things so that you can create a plan. Let's say for now, because with COVID, you have a little different restrictions. You can't really do the open houses. It's all by appointments. Number one, please be sure you get to know a person before you go in that house alone with them. But even once you know them, I can say this, 82% of violent attacks happen by people we know, whether that's an acquaintance that you've met before, or a good friend, it actually happens more often by people you know. So don't let your guard down just because you've done a couple showings with these people. The motive, means, and opportunity may have not been there for them before, but it might be now. So pay attention again to their behaviors. And if something starts seeming sketchy, do not feel uncomfortable to say, hey, I gotta go. You know,
Great
have an
point.
emergency. Have first of all, have a friend maybe that checks in on you 15 minutes, 10 minutes into the showing, whatever you want to set as an interval, that sends you a text or a phone call. You look at that text, and if you're fine, you just don't respond. If you're feeling icky, go ahead and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have an emergency at home. I have to go. Can we please reschedule? I know it's not something you want to do. I know realtors really love their commission. Of course, that's why you're a realtor. And you could potentially lose that client. But losing that client is a hell of a lot better than being traumatized or losing your life. Let me just say that, okay? There is no commission check that is important enough for you to ignore your intuition and possibly go through trauma or lose your life, okay? So you have to create a plan for getting the heck out of there. So let's move on to layering the playing field or leveling the playing field, not layering. Okay, so now you should be back to my face, which I actually put on today for y'all, which I haven't been, so yay for that. COVID keeps the makeup off. All right, so let's talk about leveling the playing field. Bill just equipped his wife. Oh gosh, I hope she's not on this call.
That's funny. I was prepared for this, Jen, so we're good. Go ahead. Talk freely.
Okay. So he's already gotten prepared for Christmas for his wife, and I think you said your sister, right, Bill?
I did. Yep. Yeah, go ahead. I'll chime in here.
So leveling the playing field means having something to create that deterrent or help when somebody could overpower you. So I'm especially speaking to the women, but men, you need to pay attention to this too. I know y'all like to think that you're super macho and nothing is ever going to happen to you, but it does. Okay, so you too have to be very diligent with your safety, creating a plan and being proactive. So when I'm talking about leveling the playing field, I'm talking about, yes, having a weapon. And no, we can't all, and not all of us are comfortable carrying guns on the job. And not everything needs a gun anyway. So what we do is non-lethal tools. My favorite, and the one I recommend for every realtor, is our little ringer. This is the wood grain little ringer. All this is a tiny little stun gun, okay? So this can fit right in your pocket, right in your outside pocket of your purse. It can be attached with a breakaway outside your purse. It can be on your keys, or it can be on what we call our arm candy. And what you're gonna see here are two other tools too. So yes, I know, men, you're not gonna carry around this arm candy, but ladies, you can have this with your keys on it or whatever, and you're ready to go with this on there as well. So let me explain why I love a stun gun. Number one, when we're talking about situational awareness, you always have a flashlight, okay? Which helps your situational awareness. That's your plan A. Plan B, Anthony, I'm gonna tell you that I have them here actually in stock. So if you want it right away, you guys can just message me after this whole thing, and I can make sure I can actually bring them down to the office before Christmas if you need them, or we can get them later. So this is the wood grain. They all tell you how charged they are, first of all, what you need to know. They also are rechargeable by micro USB, okay? And it comes with a car and a wall adapter. This little thing here that I popped in the bottom that's around my wrist, this is our safety key or disable pin. That's another reason I love a stun gun, because if this does get taken away from me, it cannot be turned against me. And I'll show you real quick. When I turn on the power with the key in, you see the red light. That means it's armed. Now, if somebody were to pull this away from me, it would pull out that pin, that red light immediately goes off. It is now completely disarmed, and that attacker cannot use my own weapon against me.
Wow,
It's another
that
reason
is
I love a
so
stun gun.
key. Are you kidding me?
Right?
That's really smart. Yeah.
Now, imagine this. You are in a situation, somebody's making you really uncomfortable. And again, ladies, I'm going to address you. Men do not understand subtlety. So if you are just kind of trying to show them you're uncomfortable and they are not taking no for an answer, which, by the way, someone not taking a no for an answer is very predatory. So don't let your guard down if they just keep pushing, okay? But the sound of a stun gun is also extremely intimidating. So if I were to go back off, you think they're going to continue their pursuit.
That'll do the trick, I think, in
That,
most
that'll
cases.
do it.
Now, let me just say, back the F off is actually more effective. We were taught that by police and SWAT trainers. I just don't do that when I'm trying to be professional. So just remember, even if that's not part of your normal language, use it. Okay.
Use the
But
F-bomb in
that,
this case.
right?
Yes.
And the shot across the bow with the stun gun is often all you need. Like, I feel bad. My family is still sleeping. Well, was until about 30 seconds ago. My dogs are also freaking out now, but that's the benefits of a stun gun. Now, the other reason I love a stun gun, okay, especially for realtors, you guys are up close and personal with your clients. This is not usually somebody who's standing 16 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, never lead through a house because you do not want someone at your back. Okay. When you are showing a home, I hope you are playing the best Vanna White you can ever play. Guide them down the hallway. Say, right down here, down the hall to your left is the master bedroom. Allow them to proceed so you're always the one in back. Okay. That gives you more control and gives you a chance to create that space, especially now that we need the social distancing anyway, but not everybody's good about that. So
It's a good excuse,
keep that in
right?
mind. Yeah, always stay within earshot because they're gonna have questions. And if you still have a client occupied home, you want to make sure you're protecting their possessions too. So you have to be able to see them. But for example, when you're showing a master bedroom, you can have this in your pocket. You can stand just outside the bedroom door because you never want to give them the chance to create isolation. That means never walk all the way in where they can get to the back of you and shut that door. Okay. But you always have something in your hand. Now, somebody pursues, somebody doesn't get scared of that sound, somebody still comes after you, or someone grabs you from the back. That's when a stun gun comes in really handy. Our stun guns are absolutely weapon strength. Believe me, I know, accidentally, for real. So you want to make sure you have something that's going to be powerful enough to get someone off you. What a stun gun does is all about pain. It's pain compliance. You are going to show that person that you are going to be a hard target, whether it be through that shot across the bow to let them know, hey, I'm packing, leave me the heck alone, or you actually end up having to stun them. You're going to show them you're a hard target. Stun guns do not do what Hollywood makes it look like they do. You don't stun someone in the neck and they're unconscious for hours where you can tie them up in a chair and start questioning them. It's absolutely about getting them off of you so that you can get away. What we preach is stun and run. Don't stick around and admire your work. Get somewhere safe and call the police. Okay. And when you stun, just so y'all know, the best targets are the large muscle groups. So chest, abdomen, and thighs. Thighs are great. Groin's not as good. Okay. Sorry, gentlemen. Groin is not a large muscle group. I know y'all try and tell us that, but it's not. So, ladies, it would still feel like a swift kick to the groin. It would hurt like the devil. But if you can exhaust the thigh, because that's the other thing a stun gun does, if it's held on for a few seconds, it actually turns the glucose into lactic acid. So it exhausts that muscle. If you can exhaust his thigh, his ability, and I just say him, I am not trying to beat up on the men. I swear your attacker can be a woman too. All right. You cannot assume just because she's female, she is safe. But if you're able to stop that person by stunning them in the thigh, their ability to run after you goes way the heck down, even if they can power through the pain. So keeping that in mind, that is one of my favorite targets. My police officer friends are like, yeah, Jen, I want you to keep teaching people that because that's a fantastic target, especially if they come up behind you at any point, reaching back and getting that thigh is fantastic. Okay. So moving on from stun guns, let's talk about why you need to then layer your protection. That's why that word was popping into my mouth before. If someone gets my stun gun away, I'm in trouble, right? Except I'm not. Because the way I actually carry is on our arm candy like this, okay? So I still have two weapons in my possession if they get the stun gun away. So the arm candy here has a disable pin. Let me take out the other one. I'm good to go. I'm walking around. I've got my keys, I'm good to go. But if somebody takes this away from me, I still have these as backup. Okay. Mind you, you cannot buy pepper spray on our websites right now. We are sold out. I have a few at home if you need them. However, my suggestion to you is to get on my waiting list because we have a pepper spray that every single realtor needs to have in their pocket. It has technology in it. It is a Bluetoothed pepper spray. that when you spray it or just hit the alert button, it actually communicates with your phone, sends a text out to 5 pre-programmed contacts, lets them know you're in trouble, and lets them know your exact GPS location so that they can get help to you. I told you before,
Wow, that's
I was a
incredible.
911. Yeah, I was a 911 operator. I know the gap. And that's after people are able to call 911, and then there's a response time. Think about it. If you are in a home with someone who's making you uncomfortable, but it's not time to pull the weapons yet, if you could just push that button and know that a friend is on the way to you, okay, and maybe you have it where I'm going to push the button if I need you to come on the way. If I don't tell you I'm safe within 3 minutes, please call the police too. Like, you can have something like that. Because once you're safe or you feel like everything's okay, you can actually go into the app, click I'm safe now, and it'll send the I'm safe to your 5 people as well. So during that time, they can be on the phone with the police. They can know, hey, my wife, Jennifer, she's at this location. Also sends re-alerts or subsequent alerts. So every minute to, I think, 10 minutes in the app, you can choose the intervals. It sends a new location. So if you ran out the door and you're running down the street, it's going to keep telling them where you are as long as you have possession of your phone. So again, if you want to be on my waiting list for when those come back in stock, because I sold out even of my demo one, definitely contact me when we're done here. I'll make sure you're on that list to get your hands on one as soon as possible. But, and our pepper spray, by the way, is the hottest you can purchase in the state of California without a permit, and has a UV identifying dye. So they will glow under a UV light for up to a week after. But let me show
That's
you,
amazing.
let me show you the other tool you can back yourself up with. Okay, so this is our Kubaton. These are striking tools. This is a socket slim. This is a tactical pen. Okay, I'm going to show you the tactical pen because every realtor needs to carry a pen, right? So, well, actually right now, everything's electronic, isn't it? Nonetheless, people wouldn't have a clue that what you have here is a weapon. It's a beautiful pen. And yes, gentlemen, it comes in more than pink. It is an actual pen. So yes, it does write. It's also a flashlight and a strobe. That strobe can be very distracting to an attacker and can also give you the chance to get away, especially if it's in a darker room. And the back end of this one is also a DNA collector. It's jagged, so it's made to strike and scrape so that you can get skin cells, possibly draw blood, and be able to get yourself safe and give this as evidence to the police. Now, what the striking tools do, the Kubaton can actually be put on a keychain or your arm candy like I have it here. What striking tools do is, one, they reinforce your fist. So if you were to punch, you're going to have a little something to help steady that. It's going to make any strike more effective. You can hit with the points, you can hit with the back ends. The back end of the Kubaton's blunt. You can actually break bones in the hand. So for an example, if somebody did have their arm around me trying to put me in a chokehold, if I were to slam this into their hand, I could create a lot of pain by breaking those bones. You can also use it for pressure points. So if you were face to face, if you came here to somebody and just pushed them to the side, that can be really reactive without having to actually strike. So that's just a nice backup for your close contact potential issues. So as you can see, we have several different tools that can help you level the playing field and layer your protection. Because if, the military, they say 1 is none and 2 is 1. So why not carry at least 3, right? Especially when we're not as trained. It's what I try and teach everyone, and it's what I do myself. I even have my necklace on. This is a 130 decibel whistle. It's our pearl of wisdom. It's a nice starting step for a lot of people to create that noise and make a scene. But the whole thing about it, guys, is the D part is sold. It's deciding to win. That is you making the decision. You're going to do whatever you have to do to get home safely to your family at the end of the day. Because too many of us don't give ourselves enough value. Too many of us give all the value, say, to our kids or to other people. And again, I am speaking especially to the women who are moms. We always think about our kids and our families first, and we forget to put ourselves first. We forget what would happen to our families if something happened to us. We have to decide we have the value to be sure to do whatever we can do to be proactive and get our bottoms home to our families safely at the end of the day, no matter what we're doing in our life, no matter our job or anything else. It's your warrior mindset. It's the ability to stick your thumb in somebody's eyeball or to choke them or to do anything you need to do to be sure that you get home. And I hope that every single one of you already thinks that way. And if you don't, we need to talk some more so I can explain to you more about why you need to. So
And
that's
and
it
I
for
just
me.
want to, yeah, and I just want to, amazing presentation, Jen. My goodness, just so much stuff to really unpack there. And I just want to add, like, this applies also beyond being a realtor. When I talk to you, and just for the record, I actually bought my sister and my wife, Jen's, the package of 3, the sun gun, the pepper spray, and the tool there, the what was it called?
Well, it's a socket. Our company calls them socket slim because we like cute names, but it's really
Yeah.
a martial arts weapon called a kubaton.
Okay, so and the Kubaton. So, so I'm thinking about applications for my wife, and I know she takes our dog for a walk. Sometimes I'm with her, sometimes I'm not able to be with her, and I worry that somebody could try to approach her, attack her, just on going on a basic walk with a dog at 7 at night when it's dark out, and and then there's also the coyote factor. We live in an area where there's still animals that are very bold, very brazen, and they could potentially try to come and pick off our nice little fluffy Muppet dog. So, there's other
I have those too.
Yeah, we've had conversations about your dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many other things. We're shopping. It's winter time. The sun's setting earlier. The opportunities are so much greater than even just showing property, which obviously that's what we do in our business, in our industry. But there's other things that this is so critical. When I kind of digest that, I was like, this is a no-brainer. Like this is a no-brainer for me. And so Jen was very kind enough. I actually met her last weekend over in Huntington Beach and got two gifts for my family. So and in doing that, we just felt like this is such a practical topic for everybody, and especially being realtors in our line of work. Just very thankful, Jen, for you to come on. And where can everybody find your products, or how can they connect with you?
So I actually just wrote it in the chat while you were
Oh, good.
talking. I gave them my phone number. You guys feel free to text me anytime except Christmas Day because I'm not working on Christmas Day.
No.
But feel free to text me anytime if you have any questions, if you want to get your hands on products. I do have a lot at home in my inventory because I normally carry a good size inventory, but all the events were canceled this year. So
Right.
for it's even better for you because that means I already have it and we can get it into your hands faster. If you want it for Christmas, be sure to contact me today so we can meet up somehow tomorrow early in the day, and I can even gift wrap, just FYI. If it's not for you and you want to get it under the tree for someone, I can take care of that for you as well. But my phone number and my website are both in the chat. And I can also send you a flippable catalog. So if you send me a text and say, hey, Jen, I'd love to browse that, I can send you a virtual flippable catalog so that you can go through and check things out more. Real quick, Bill, one thing I didn't know you were dealing with your wife and dog. We also have a glove that holds the stun gun. So for the runners, joggers, hikers, people who love to
wow.
walk their dogs, this holds it in your hand so you can deal with all the things you have to when you're walking your dog, right? And even has reflective stripes on the outside, so it gives some more visibility when you're out walking. So that's our runner-up glove, and that can be used with either the little ringer or the protected pepper, which is our disable pinned pepper spray that I did not show you. This pepper spray, if it's taken from you, cannot be sprayed. And that's how the one with technology comes too. We have it with or without the Bluetooth. But the whole big deal about this is that it has that disable pin feature. So it's another way that you can carry without worrying somebody else could take it and use it against you.
That's phenomenal. And it looks like Sheila from Newport is probably going to buy a few of them. Good job, Sheila. Okay, great. Well, Bill, any other takeaways from you?
No, I just want to thank Jen again for coming on. I love your energy, Jen, and just really informative. And I encourage everybody just to take a look at the product lines. and find out, at a minimum, look at something that might work for you or somebody in your family that, just a little peace of mind goes a long way.
For
Yeah, and
sure.
thank you guys so much for inviting me to come and share. One last thing, you guys, is when you host like a get together, obviously right now virtual, Facebook, Zoom, whatever, with your family and friends, you actually can earn products for free. This is a direct sales company like Mary Kay, only with a bigger mission, of course. And so if you guys are interested in doing that in January, we have double the half price credits for our hostesses. So if you have a lot that you need to get your hands on, let's talk about putting that together, because that just helps me spread safety all over the place, not just with realtor teams. I can take care of everyone in the family, especially those young kids who are going to be headed back to campuses for their colleges. So that's something to consider as well.
Great point. Excellent. Well, we really appreciate you coming on our webinar, Jen. Well, I know we'll definitely have you back for a follow-up. And so we look forward to having you back sometime in 2021.
Great, thank you. It looks like someone keeps raising their hand. Is that just
Oh,
me?
let's see.
Is that Wing?
I see. Yes, Wing is if there's a specific question, Wing, you can certainly put it in the chat. And of course, you can message me, and I will certainly, when I put out the replay for this webinar, I'll make sure to include all of Jen's information so you guys can contact her anytime.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
You're welcome, Jen. And so, you guys, the office will be closed basically from the 24th through the 27th for Christmas, and then also for the New Year's holiday. So we'll be back on Monday, the 3rd, January 3rd, ready to go for the new year. And we will be, our first webinar of the year will be on the 5th, January 5th. So we're really looking forward to that. It'll be a kickoff webinar. A lot of really good excitement and just really good planning for the year. And so also we want to encourage anybody to suggest topics in 2021, anything that you guys would like to go over. We go over a wide variety of things, as you know, but we're always open to discussing things that are important to you guys. So feel free to, suggest that to us any way you'd like to. You can certainly just message us or email us. And with that said, I just want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, very happy and successful New Year. And we look forward to seeing you all in 2021. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you all. Happy holidays.
Okay, bye-bye.